Hello. Let's talk about some stocks here. What is going on in the market so far? It is Monday and it was a pretty good start to the week. Nothing crazy happened today. The market tried to get itself going again. Obviously last week we had a huge sell-off with a lot of things. Big AI push and sell-off last week with NVIDIA quarterlies coming out, and that's a whole nother conversation we're not even going to get into. But jumping right into DWAC, Trump news mania, whatever you want to call it here. I hope everyone is doing well. I really do mean that. It is Monday, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this week in the market here. I have been placing money here, there with some trades. I've made some videos about other stocks that kind of waiting on to see what's going to happen with them, with some short trades. Maybe that might turn into long trades, but like once again, DWAC, it is doing well still. I think it's doing well. I really do. I think people, you either understand that it's doing well or you are just becoming impatient, and I get that. One of the hardest things with investing is having patience. I think that's where most investors struggle, is that they just want, up. It's still holding this high 40 mark, almost at 50. I'm going to be honest, obviously over the weekend, the news broke that Haley is finally, I think she's out. She's done. So she lost South Carolina, and as far as I know, she's out. She's done. So if there's any Haley fans, I'm not trying to say anything bad. It's the facts. It's what happened. I thought there'd be a little more of a push with Truth Digital World here, which is obviously going to become Truth Social. But there actually was more of a push last night into the morning rally with what was going on in the market, and then we saw a little more of a sell-off today. But still a good day. The fact that it's holding these high 40 ranges and trying to get into a $50 range, which it is slowly. If you just look at this monthly chart right here, and this isn't like the best chart, but it's just a generalized, bread and butter chart here, what we can see. It's a fantastic chart. I mean, you got some big highs and some big sell-offs to buy, some big more buy back in. So it's being traded very, very healthy here, and we're still seeing it. It's still climbing. That's the good thing about all this. And I believe if it gets over this $50 mark and it can sustain it for a few days, it's probably going to stay there more than likely. But what we're seeing, 47, which is kind of the low, it looks like now, was the high 2 weeks ago. Remember when it was hitting like 47s and the lows were 41s, 42s? So now we're at a 47, and it's like, okay, I think maybe this is the new, low, 47, which is tremendous. Now with DWAC, obviously the news is supposed to be happening here. The merger is supposed to be happening here in March. Far as we know, there has not been any new news released as of me releasing this video, so that, this is day by day at this point. It could change. But other than Trump news, we had over the weekend, the primary, or it was caucus primary, anyway, he knocked out Nikki, and then we had the shoes. The shoes were launched for Trump, but, I don't really think that did a whole lot besides it was just publicity. And then, you had Shane Gillis on SNL and having a hilarious skit about Trump. Trump mania and news continues to go through, and now I think what you're seeing, a lot of these news organizations, they are pretty much giving into the fact that it's going to be Biden, it's going to be Trump going head to head here. My disclaimer for Truth Social, the whole time it goes like this, and this is not me being bearish on Truth Social in a mean sense. I'm not trying to say anything bad about it at all, but right now with Truth Social, I don't really care about Truth Social in the sense of a long-term investment. There's still a lot that has to happen for me to where I would leave a lot of money in that company to see where it goes. Because I think more than likely what is going to play out here is that the deal hopefully will happen here in March, where Truth Social and Digital World will become one and they will combine. Now, there'll probably be a big push on that. And I've already said if it goes to triple digits, I possibly will sell out and regroup, because there will probably be a huge sell-off if that were to happen. But with that, it could be another starting point where the stock starts to move up again, especially going into November with the election here. Regardless, True Social comes to the NASDAQ. It is on here. That's what it says. My lifespan in this stock will more than likely be decided in October, November, where we see things are headed. If Trump were to win, obviously True Social would go freaking nuts. It would just go berserk, because for the first time in history, you would be able to buy into a company, a stock that is primarily owned, and majority of shares are owned by the president. Now, I think a lot of people are scared, obviously. The question has to be said that, Trump does own a lot of the shares. And if this deal were to happen in March, that Trump would sell off quite a bit of shares. I would expect him to do that. Not a whole lot, but this is like another thing with investors. When CEOs start selling shares, they get very upset. So a lot of investors, it's not a terrible thing. It's just, somebody taking capital. A CEO selling, 500,000 shares of, let's say Digital World, maybe at $50 to $80, is not that big of a deal, really. It's not going to do much damage, especially when the stock more than likely is going to continue to grow in popularity this year. So I know a lot of people have been saying that, and I don't know how that's going to play out, but more than likely, I think you should be prepared for that news article to come out. And going back to November, the reason why I would sell out, let's just make up some crazy number. Let's say in November, True Social, and obviously Digital World, True Social, I'm still combining those, that the deal is gonna happen, that this is gonna be on the NASDAQ. It says True Social. That is the company that I have money in. Right now, the biggest publicity and platform that True Social can have right now is the fact that Trump is running for president, and that he's doing good. It's, this isn't like me promoting Trump in this video. I'm not trying to. I'm just stating the facts. This is where people come in and just want to rip me apart in the comments, whatever. You have to be aware of what's going on here, and Trump is doing well. Whether the general media wants to acknowledge that, that's something else you have to look into, because obviously, I think we're in the midst right now. I gotta be careful what I say right here. I do think we're in the midst of a shift in culture. There's a lot going on financially in our economy. In the background with all this happening in the stock market, I don't know how deep people go into the market. I like to go deep into it and what's going on with our government and everything, because I think it controls everything. The economy is in the market, and the market is in the economy, and they teeter-totter on each other. So with that, we've seen a lot of jobs be lost here late. The general media is not talking about that. A lot of people have been getting laid off. There's a huge thing going on right now in China with a huge house developing company that is really probably going to go into bankruptcy, and that could spiral into our market. That's a big thing. In rates, we don't know if rates are going to stay the same or go up here in the United States. I don't know how many people even care at this point, but the threats of war and all that stuff. I mean, that's what the media is trying to hype on right now, because it's news and it's selling tickets to the show. But all these things affect the market, and right now the main thing that we're seeing is that the market is going crazy. It is still doing very well. It's doing so well. It should, by God-given rights of what the market is doing and how history has repeated itself, especially in an election year. The market should have a shift here where it has it's either going to be a slight pullback, going down, sell-off, or it's going to be like fell off the cliff, call 911 pullback, to where we see it gradually come back up into the rest of the year here. And then, I really do think, if it's Biden or it's Trump, the market is going to decide which way it wants to go. And if Trump does win, the market will look different. It will look different. Companies you invest in will look different. It will just look different. And I'm not saying the market's going to fall apart. That's not what I'm saying. But, we are seeing the market doing well right now. There are things that are getting better, at least from what they're telling us, with numbers, with inflation and that kind of stuff, which is helping the market. But the market is running so hot and so fast right now that this is where things just something bad could happen. And that's why I get a little scared with putting large amounts of money in the market right now. So that's my spiel. If you listen to that, thank you. If a lot of people are probably long gone, but getting back to Digital World acquisition, I say that because of where the stock could end up at the end of the year. A of all, yes, this is still a dangerous play. I think that should be the number one thing you know about. You can go look at comments and look at people talking about this. This is not the kind of channel where I'm going to tell you, like, this is the hottest stock of the year. You need to buy it. You need to sell your house, put everything out into it. This is not a hype video. This is a video saying, like, hey, this could be a very lucrative play, a very once-in-a-lifetime play. And I think it is. I think it already has been for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have already done very well in this. And I've told people, like, hey, you should probably set a sell limit on this. Like, if this falls to like $30, $25, you should probably immediately set a sell limit for like into the next few months, just in case like the deal doesn't happen, something falls through, anything could happen. I mean, this thing could sell off so fast you could not even get to it. I mean, imagine if something were released tomorrow, so like Digital World has fallen out, the deal's gone bad, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, imagine. So we've seen the deal get pushed back before, so that's why I've been so critical in saying I think it's going to happen. It looks like it's going to happen here, but we've seen this before. And that's why this is a dangerous situation. Now, if the deal were to get pushed back again, and I really don't see it getting pushed back again because it's got to happen at this point. This is the year for it to happen. It would probably have some sell-off. It'd probably have some sell-off. The hype right now is around that True Social is going to be a real company on the NASDAQ, and the former and possibly new president of the United States of America is the owner, the thought process, the guy behind True Social. Obviously, he's got people running it, but you get what I'm saying here. And I think, too, with that, the other offshoot is that this will be good for the market, to where it will bring in new blood, new investors into the market, because I think once True Social, you can see it. Because a lot of people, they look at Digital World and they go, what's Digital World acquisition? They have no idea what's going on here with the connection with True Social. They know nothing. And that's fine. That's okay. But once it says True Social and people can download Robinhood, Webull, you're going to have a lot of people that support Trump put their money and possibly their life savings into this company based on that. I know that sounds crazy, but I think we all know a person or two in our life, in our family, friend group, that could possibly do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is your own decision and what you want to do. But for me, I don't know that I would go on investing in this company after November. Now, if Trump were to win in November, there would still be a good push with True Social, but I don't know that it would last. I think then it would turn into a long-term investment where, investors are wanting to go like, well, balance sheets, quarterlies, what is your projection, deals, all this stuff, and how are you going to stay relevant as a news platform? And obviously they have things they're wanting to do, and they're going to have to do to survive. Just being a news platform at this point is not really going to do much. They've got to do stuff. So saying that, I'll mention Rumble. I still think Rumble's doing great. Obviously I think a lot of us wanted Rumble to be more than what it is right now. But the fact that it's still holding here, I think is good. We're seeing a little bit of sell off, but I'm gonna be honest. If Rumble even stays around this, $6 to $8, hoping $9 mark it can get to here pretty soon, I'm gonna be happy. Real happy. I am in Rumble for the long run. I'm looking at quarterlies. I'm looking at deals. I'm looking at them becoming a big platform and what they're doing as a company. I like Rumble. Rumble's been good to me. I cannot believe this, but I've started a channel over at Rumble, and it's doing well. It's doing really well. So thank you everyone who has helped with that. I don't know if there's people that are on this platform. I don't know. That's like a whole other ball field over there. It is cuckoo land, crazy land over there, and I love it. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone, and best of luck in the market this week. I think it's going to be a wild week. I really do. Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.